The crystalline halls of the Galactic Council chamber had never felt so empty, despite being filled with representatives from 47 species. Ambassador Zethkar of the Vorthak hegemony shifted uncomfortably in his biosuit, his three eyes darting toward the vacant human delegation platform. The silence was deafening. "Where are they?" hissed Commander Veltara, her chitinous mandibles clicking with agitation. "The humans should have arrived hours ago for the trial proceedings." High Counselor Marndock raised one of his forearms, gesturing for calm. His ancient, weathered features bore the weight of centuries of diplomatic service. "Perhaps they are simply delayed. You know how humans are about their primitive transportation methods." But even as he spoke, Marndock felt the gnawing sensation in his stomach sac that something was terribly wrong. The humans had never missed a council session. Not once in the 50 years since first contact. On the observation deck high above the main chamber, Adam Chen watched the proceedings through the one-way transparisteel windows. His dark eyes were steady, betraying none of the anger that burned beneath his composed exterior. Beside him, Mahin Rashid adjusted her diplomatic uniform one final time, her hijab perfectly arranged despite the tremor in her hands. "Are you certain about this?" Mahin whispered, her voice barely audible even to Adam standing mere inches away. "Once we leave, there's no going back." Adam nodded slowly. "They made their choice when they voted to strip Earth of its sovereignty, when they decided humanity was too aggressive and unpredictable to govern itself." His jaw tightened. "They want us gone? Fine, but they'll learn what that truly means." Below them, the council continued their deliberations about the human problem. For months, they had debated humanity's fate after the incident at the Kepler station, a conflict that had started when human colonists defended themselves against Zephyrian raiders. The council had deemed humanity's response disproportionate and barbaric, despite the fact that the humans had only acted to protect innocent civilians. "The human delegation's absence is concerning," muttered Counselor Yithmoon, her translucent form flickering with nervous energy. "Perhaps we should postpone—" "Postpone nothing," interrupted Zethkar, rising to his full imposing height. "If the humans cannot be bothered to attend their own judgment, then we shall proceed without them. I motion that we immediately implement Protocol 7, complete isolation of the Sol system and revocation of all human trade agreements." The vote was swift and decisive. 38 in favor, 7 against, 2 abstentions. The galaxy had spoken. Humanity was to be quarantined, cut off from the galactic community that had once welcomed them with open arms. What the council didn't realize was that Adam and Mahin had been recording everything. As the session concluded, the two humans quietly made their way to their shuttle. No dramatic speeches, no defiant last words. Just a silent withdrawal that went completely unnoticed by the alien dignitaries below. "Initiating quantum burst transmission to all human colonies," Mahin said as they cleared the station's gravity well. Her fingers danced across the communications array. "Full council proceedings, voting records, and classified intelligence files are being distributed now." Adam set course for the nearest jump gate. "And the industrial contracts?" "Terminated. All of them." Mahin's voice carried a note of grim satisfaction. "Effective immediately, humanity ceases all mining operations, manufacturing, and resource extraction for non-human entities." The galaxy was about to learn a hard lesson about interdependence. Within hours, the effects began cascading across known space. The Vorthak discovered that humans had been supplying 93% of their rare Earth elements. The Zephyrians realized their entire entertainment industry relied on human creative content. Most critically, the Council's own defense fleet operated on human-designed reactor cores that required constant maintenance and parts replacement. By the end of the first week, Ambassador Zethkar stood before the same chamber where humanity had been condemned, his earlier confidence replaced by barely contained panic. "The humans have withdrawn," he announced, his voice cracking. "Completely. They've severed all ties, ceased all trade, and recalled every human advisor, technician, and specialist from across the galaxy." High Counselor Marndock felt his stomach sack clench tighter. "Surely this is temporary. A negotiating tactic?" "No, sir." Zethkar's next words came out as barely a whisper. "They're not negotiating. They're not responding to our communications at all. It's as if we simply don't exist to them anymore." The irony was lost on none of them. In trying to isolate humanity, they had isolated themselves. Meanwhile, in the Sol system, life continued. Human colonies that had relied on alien technology quickly adapted, their legendary ingenuity spurring rapid innovation. What they had once imported, they now created themselves, often improving upon the original designs. The quarantine that was meant to be humanity's punishment had become their catalyst for unprecedented growth and self-sufficiency. Adam stood on the observation deck of Luna Station, watching Earth turn slowly below. Maheen joined him, carrying a data pad with the latest reports from the outer colonies. "The Kepler incident colonists send their thanks," she said quietly. "They've named their first free settlement after the council members who voted for our isolation." Adam raised an eyebrow. That seemed generous. Maheen smiled for the first time in months. "It's called Never Again." Outside, the galaxy continued to spiral into chaos without humanity's quiet, essential presence. And in the Sol system, two species, human and free, thrived in peaceful isolation, having learned that sometimes the most powerful response to rejection is simply walking away with dignity intact. The universe was vast, after all. There was plenty of room for those who chose to stand alone,